Jacob.
Evaluate the question.
Okay, evaluate the question. That is what it says. And how am I going to do that, Chandler? Well, I can't do parentheses yet. There's something I need to do before that. Alexandra. I'm going to change all of those 4s into the number 2. Oh. Well, that didn't work out. So we have 4 times 2 minus 3 times 4 minus 2. So the first thing you do is change them to 2's. Now we want to evaluate. Now, Chandler, what did you say the first thing I need to do is? We want to do the parentheses. So, guys, I'm not going to work this out with you. We should be able to do our order of operations. But I do want to remind you, this comes first. All right? As long as you follow this order of operations, we should be able to get down to my correct answer choice. Make sure you've shown your work. Please do not just try to plug that in the calculator and get your answer. Show your work. This one, I'm not going to work out with you because it was order of operations. We should be able to do that, solve it. I'm going to grade this and give it back to you today so you'll know if you got it correct, okay? So make sure you choose the correct answer choice. Work it carefully. Are there any questions on number 5? We should have had time at this point to complete that on our own. Do we have any questions before I move on? Okay. We're going to flip that over and look at number 6 real quick. Make sure we're setting that up right. So for number 6, there we go. For number 6, it says the possible values for the side of a square S are represented by the inequality. So there's my inequality. How should the graph of the inequality look? So guys, when we graphed inequalities, it was a long time ago though. It's been a while. All right, and we put them on number lines. So I'd have like a number line, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's my number line. All right, what's the first thing I would need to do if I was going to graph that? So if I'm drawing it out, and make sure you're drawing it out if you're having some trouble on this. What do I need to do first to graph number 6? Ideas, Hannah?
You need to put a dot on 2.
All right, I need to put a dot on 2. Now remember when we did inequalities, we had different types of dots. What type of dot do I need on 2? Lock? An open dot. So we're going to put an open dot on 2 because it says 2S is greater than 2. So can S actually be a 2? No. But is that 2 important? Yeah, it's using 2. 2 is important. Remember, we use an open dot to show, hey, this number is important, but it's not really there. It's kind of like an invisible dot, if you will. Okay? So I have my open dot. All right, now remember this says it's not just that S has to be around the 2, it says S is greater than, because the alligator's eating that S. So X is greater than 2. So then what other numbers would I need to include? What other numbers do I need to include in my graph? Daniela? Yeah, we need to put an arrow. So remember we also talked about how, hey, that makes an arrow. You'll see how that's pointing that direction. So we need to include all those numbers going in that direction. Which does that make sense? Is 3 bigger than 2? Yeah. Is 4 bigger than 2? Is 5 bigger than 2? And we put an arrow here because it's going to keep going. Now guys, based on what we just drew, now you should be able to pick the correct description of that drawing. All right? So I'm going to let you do that. I drew it out. That was your assistance. That was your guidance if we were having some trouble. All right? If this does not help you, are there any questions? So hopefully we can pick our description based on that picture. Are there any questions on number 6 before I move on? Any questions on number 6? Okay. All right, let's look down at number 7. Number 7, I think, was probably one of the easier ones. So number 7 was pretty straightforward. It says, at noon, Andy was at the location that corresponds with negative 5, 2. How am I going to go to negative 5, 2? Danielle. So we're going to go backwards 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up twice, okay? So I got my 2, negative 5, 2. And then it says at 2, he went to the location that corresponds with negative 2, 5. So how am I going to find negative 2, 5? Dylan?
Go to the left 2 spaces.
Negative 2, back 2, 1, 2.
And then down 5 spaces.
Negative 5, down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now from here it says according to the map, at noon, so that's that first dot. At noon, Andy was at, you're going to pick your description. Your description also tells where he went at 2 o'clock. So make sure you pay attention and use the one that also tells where he went at 2 o'clock, okay? All right, from here, are there any questions about that graph before I move on? Any questions about that graph? All right, we should have our entire math workshop answered at this point. If you'll make sure your name is on it and pass it to the front. Name is on it, pass it to the front. All right, so we've added number 5 to our table of contents. We're looking at our statistics worksheet, and I want you to look on the back at number 16. So we're on the back looking at 16. All right, the reason that I wanted to look at this one, because this one talks about some stuff we haven't gotten to mention yet, okay? So on number 16, it says, describe the data by listing the attribute measured. All right, now you'll notice on the front I've added that word, and I'm going to give you the definition. But if you look up here at 15, do y'all see that? It says attribute equals what? That means what is the information talking about? So where it says attribute equals what, when we say list the attribute, we're talking about what the information is. Are y'all okay with that? Then it says the unit of measure. Look right here. Unit of measure, that's just your measurement. What am I using to measure? Am I using miles? Am I using feet? Am I using ounces? All right. Then it says the means of measure. What does means say next to it? The tool. So like in real life, guys, to measure feet, I need to use a tool. I can use like a tape measure, a measuring tape. I can use maybe a ruler. Usually if I'm measuring feet, that's not going to be long enough because that's only 1 foot, right? All right. All right, but there's tools that you have to use in the real world to measure things, so we're going to be talking about the tools. That's what the means of measure is. And then the last thing is the number of observations. What do you think number of observations means? Number of observations. What do you think that means when I'm talking about this chart? McKenna?
How many observations there are?
Yeah, how many observations there are. How many numbers are there in this chart, okay? So we're going to look at number 16 real quick. So the first thing it says is attribute. So when I look at this chart, guys, what is this chart talking about? Remember, attribute means what? What is this chart talking about on number 16? Sean? It is talking about food. I got lettuce, cheese, sauce, soup, ice cream. But it's talking about something a little bit more specific about the food. Kelsey? Hunter? The serving volume. Guys, that title, doesn't that tell me what it's talking about? We're measuring with cups, but it's talking about the serving volume. What that means is that's saying how much food do you get? Serving volume. Are we okay with that? Okay. The unit of measure, that is the measurement. What measurement is this chart using? What type of measurement do we have here? Kaylin? That's my cups. So I'm measuring my servings with cups. Means of measure is the tool. Guys, I want you to think about, so food is from your kitchen, okay? So think about in your kitchen when your parents are maybe cooking some food. Maybe they're cooking a cake. And they need to measure cups. What tool are they going to use to measure out cups? Sean? Okay, baking a cake. Making a cake, baking a cake, yeah. All right, if they're going to make a cake, what tool are they going to use to measure out cups? What tool, Owen? A measuring cup. Excellent.
Cup measure.
It has to be a measuring cup. In some of my other classes today, some people have told me, you use a cup to measure cups. And that's true, but can I just go open the cabinet door and pick any cup?
No.
I have to pick that clear cup that has the lines on it so that I can measure, which is called a measuring cup, okay? So that's the tool I would use. Are y'all okay with that? All right. Then the last thing says number of observations. How many different things did I observe in that chart? Camilla? 5. That's also basically in the number of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I observed lettuce, cheese, sauce, soup, and ice cream. That's 5 things. Do y'all agree? So I had 5 observations. Yes, sir. There's nothing there. That's why it's grayed out. All right? Okay. So, guys, since we did 16 together, I want you're going to try to do 15 on your own. Remember, the means of measure, that's the tool. So think about in real life, if I'm weighing something, what would I use, okay? All right. I'll let you look at it in just a minute, okay? That's why we did it together, okay? All right, 12, 13, 14. These are those statistical questions. Now, guys, look at the directions. It says, tell whether each question is statistical or non-statistical. Does that say to write yes or no? No. You're going to write statistical or you're going to write non-statistical. Does it say you have to explain? No, but you have to write out that word. Please spell it correctly if I gave you the spelling, okay? Just copy that spelling correctly. All right. On the front, here you have number 10, mean, medium, mode, range. Number 11, you have 3 different problems where you're going to practice mean, medium, mode, and range, okay? I'm going to put those definitions up here so that you can just copy those. You don't have to look for them. All right, my definitions. Okay. Yes, I'll get that one at the back, okay?